Welcome. In this video, we'll walk you through how to use the Warwickshire Nature Recovery Mapping Platform. Whether you're exploring the nature recovery opportunities or supporting local nature recovery strategy, this guide will help you get started. This short video will guide you through how to explore and use Warwickshire's nature recovery maps. You'll learn how to navigate the platform and understand the different layers and find useful links and resources to support your nature recovery activities. To begin, head to the Warwickshire Nature Recovery Mapping Platform via the link provided in the consultation or the guidance page. There is no login required, just click and explore. The main map is displayed in the centre of the screen, flanked by two toolbars. The left-hand toolbar gives you access to various data layers, while the right-hand toolbar offers you help to explore and interact the map in more detail. You can zoom in and out using the button at the top right-hand side of the screen, or by simply scrolling using your mouse. You can also use the Zoom to function, which allows you to search via a postcode or an address or a grid reference. You can then press enter or click Zoom to. You can also use the named place search tool to quickly search and locate a specific place within Warwickshire. Simply type in the name of a town, village, or landmark into the search bar and the map will automatically zoom to that location. It's a handy way to jump straight to an area you're interested in. We recommend zooming in to a location of interest before toggling on and off too many data layers to enable the layers to load as quickly as possible. The base layers control the background of the map. You can switch between different views such as satellites, imagery, or street map, depending on what's most useful for your task. This helps provide context to the data layers you're exploring. Into data layers and the administrative boundaries. These provide layers of reference framework for understanding the geographical context of Warwickshire's nature recovery map. It outlines key boundaries such as districts and borough councils, parish areas, and other relevant administrative zones. This layer doesn't form part of the local nature recovery strategy itself, but it's useful for identifying within local authority areas, different habitats or potential actions that fall within them. This can help with planning, coordination, and aligning nature recovery activities with local priorities and responsibilities. The local nature recovery strategy boundary layer, found here, shows the official area covered by Warwickshire's LNRS. You can toggle any of these layers on or off to help orientate yourself within the map and better understand how nature recovery opportunities relate to existing governance structures. Within the LNRS habitat map, there are three core layers. These include areas of particular importance for biodiversity, the APIB layer, areas that could become important for biodiversity, the ACB layer, and then the potential actions for nature recovery. The APIB layer identifies locations in Warwickshire that are already recognised for their high biodiversity value. These include designated site priority areas and places supporting important species. They are considered critical to protect and maintain as they form the backbone of the county's ecological network. The APIB areas are the key focus for conservation efforts and are central for the LNRS. Areas that could become important for biodiversity, or the ACB layer, highlights areas that have potential to support significant biodiversity in the future. These may currently be degraded, overused, or less ecologically rich, but they offer opportunities for habitat creation, restoration, or enhancement. ACB areas are strategic zones where nature recovery actions could make a meaningful impact, helping to expand and connect existing biodiversity hotspots. The potential actions for nature recovery layer suggests broad nature recovery activities that are required to make the areas that could become important for biodiversity genuinely important for biodiversity. These actions are linked to the written guidance available within the strategy or on the LNP website. Please be mindful that not all actions are mapped, so be sure to check the strategy and the resources linked within the platform for full details. Within the potential actions for nature recovery layer, actions have been grouped into themed drop-downs to help users explore and understand the types of nature recovery activities that may be appropriate in different areas. These groupings reflect the strategic priorities of Warwickshire's local nature recovery strategy and include the Conserve, Enlarge, Enhance and Connect drop-down. These actions focused on improving existing habitats and in strengthening the ecological network. The Create drop-down, showing areas that are opportunities for creating new habitat where they are most needed. The Strategic BNG drop-down shows areas where habitat creation or enhancement will qualify for the 15% biodiversity net gain uplift, and is most relevant to developers and landowners looking to create habitat banks. The species action areas show locations identified for targeted species recovery efforts, and the species assemblages action areas, show locations identified for targeting species assemblage recovery areas. These categories will hopefully help users navigate the map more easily and link mapped opportunities with the written guidance and resources throughout the Warwickshire Local Nature Partnership website. To demonstrate how these layers will work, I'll zoom to a location and show you how they can be used effectively. Within the Conserve, Enlarge, Enhance and Connect drop-down, you can either select specific layers that interest you, or toggle on all layers by checking the checkbox at the top of the group. Once the layers are visible, you'll see existing habitat features within your chosen area. You can click on any feature to select it, and details will appear in the right-hand panel. This will tell you which feature you've selected along with the unique ID. Useful if you ever need to reference it when working with us on a project. After identifying the habitat type, so in this case existing woodland, you can then refer to the drop-down list on the left-hand side and hover over the information icon next to each layer for more details. So in this case, existing woodlands, I can hover over this eye, which is the information icon, and I will get more detail about where the data layer came from and the key actions that we're looking to promote within these locations. For further information on these habitat types, you can then click on the link that will take you to the guidance document within the LNP website. Here you'll find how each habitat type links to the overarching themes of the strategy, suggested potential actions for the habitats, and then guidance documents to support your planning, your project planning and delivery. I can then do the same with the Create drop-down. I will toggle on all layers. And as you can see, we have some squares here. This square shows priority woodland creation areas. And then these more beigey orange squares show priority grassland creation areas. And again, you can go to the icon for priority grassland creation areas. This will give you more information about how we came about this data, and then the recommended actions that you can undertake in those locations. And as always, there'll be a link back to the LNP website to show guidance on how to create and restore grassland habitats. I will toggle those two layers off and now show you the species action areas, which again will highlight where various action areas are shown for different species. So if I select this feature layer in the middle, this tells me that I have selected both a slowworm action area and a hedgehog action area. If I go back into the species action area, I can find slowworm action areas, go onto the information icon, and again see the key actions that are included for this species in this action area. And again, go to the guidance documents via the link. And this is the case for any of the features that you click on. This is a black poplar action area, so I can go back up to the information icon here and see what actions are identified for this location for black poplar. And again, go to the LNP website for the guidance links. And it is very much the same for the assemblages. So if I click on this central one here, we can see that this is for the urban nesting birds action area. Again, looking at the information, we can see more detail about this layer, the key actions for this layer. For this particular instance, it involves installing nest boxes and safeguarding existing nesting sites. And once again, you can use this link to go to the LNP website to look up more guidance about species assemblages. So those are the key layers included within the local habitat map, each supporting Warwickshire's local nature recovery strategy. In addition to these, we have provided a set of supporting layers. In addition to these, we've also provided a set of supporting layers to offer extra context about how Warwickshire's landscape and the nature recovery actions we've identified. These include opportunity sensitivity layers for woodland, grassland and ponds, landscape layer level data layers and other actions not captured within the core strategic layers. These supporting layers help users better understand the ecological setting and inform decisions about where and how to deliver nature recovery activities. Let's return to our example in Hurley in North Warwickshire, and by toggling on the exclusion areas for grassland creation, we can see where areas of grassland creation or restoration is considered unsuitable. These exclusions are based on existing land use, ecological constraints, and other sensitivities. For example, in the centre of Hurley, this is already developed with homes and roads, making it inappropriate for grassland interventions. Next, we have the highly constrained areas for grassland creation. This highlights locations where grassland creation is significantly limited due to factors such as existing ecological value or environmental sensitivities. In some cases, this may be because woodland is already established and it would be generally inappropriate to remove woodland to create grassland. Similarly, the moderately constrained areas for grassland creation show places where there are some limitations to grassland creation, but not as severe. And finally, when we toggle on the lowest constrained areas for grassland creation, we can see locations with minimal constraints, areas where grassland creation or restoration is more likely to be appropriate, and these represent the greatest opportunities for successful grassland interventions. As always, you can hover over the information icon to get more information about each layer. You can then follow the same process for exploring pond sensitivities and woodland sensitivities. Under the landscape drop-down, you'll find a selection of landscape scale initiatives that help provide broader context for nature recovery across Warwickshire. These include national landscapes, formerly areas of outstanding natural beauty, nature improvement areas or NIAs, large landscape level project areas, and the HS2 route, which is now a key consideration for many landscape level projects across the county. These layers help users understand how local actions fit within wider environmental and infrastructure initiatives. In our example of Hurley, we can see that the Tame Valley Wetland NIA spans across the village. By going to the information icon, you can see more information about this particular NIA and access the link to the LNP pages to read more about this NIA. By zooming out, you can get a clearer view of the landscape scale layers across Warwickshire. For example, you can see the Cotswolds National Landscape to the south, the Tame Valley Wetland NIA to the north, and the HS2 route which cuts through the county. And finally, one last tip. If you ever find yourself with too many layers selected and the map feels cluttered, you can use the Deselect All Layers button in the right-hand toolbar. This will deselect everything and give you a fresh start, making it easier to begin a new search or focus on a specific area. And that's everything you need to get started with Warwickshire's Nature Recovery mapping platform. We hope this guide helps you explore the maps with confidence and supports your work in planning and delivering nature recovery across the county. Thanks for watching.